FIFA World Cup 2022 is here, guys, and this time it's going to be in Qatar. After the 4 years of long wait, finally we are going to witness the grand tournament, not in football but a grand tournament in the sports. Football World Cup is one of the special World Cup in the whole world. 190 plus countries actually watched this particular World Cup. The final of 2018 was watched by 1.1 billion people together. It get tremendous amount of viewership, tremendous amount of people go to ground, cheer for their team. It is one of the great environment and one of the tournament. It is like a festival which come after 4 years. While most of us are really excited about this particular World Cup, I want to ask you one question. Have you ever wondered that who actually gets the benefit from this particular World Cup? Is it the FIFA? Is it the country which is hosting the World Cup? Is it the country which actually wins the World Cup? Or is it the sponsors of this particular World Cup? Who actually gets the benefit? Hey guys, my name is Mayresh and welcome to Mayka Gyan. In this particular video, we're going to touch upon what are the streams of revenue and expenses of FIFA in the World Cup. We'll also look at what are the benefits for the hosting nation to host this particular World Cup, what are the benefits for the countries which actually play this particular World Cup, and we'll also look at how this particular World Cup signify that commerce can kill the art of sports. So let's get started without further ado. First of all, let us start with very much basic. Expenses and revenue streams of FIFA. One of the major expenses of FIFA is basically the prize money. 440 million of prize money is given by FIFA. In this prize money, 42 million is given to the winner of the FIFA World Cup, 30 million is given to the runner-up, 27 million is given to the third position, and 25 million is given to the team which comes at the fourth position. There is also $10 million given to the team for just participation. At the same time, $8,000 plus is given to every player for just playing the match. These all sum up to $440 million of prize money. The second expense is the referee salary. Referee plays a very important role in football match, from running on the ground with the players, at the same time keeping the situation a bit calm and taking some decisions which can literally change the dynamics of the match or even dynamics of the whole tournament. So referee plays a very crucial role in the whole World Cup. Referees are divided into 4 parts: match referee, assistant referee, fourth referee, and video assistant referee. These are the salaries of these all 4 referees. As you can see, the playoff and the final salary is a bit more as compared to the normal matches. The total expense of this referee salary is $775,000. Third expense is the fund. FIFA gives $1.7 billion fund to the hosting nation for the smooth conduct of the whole tournament. FIFA also take care of accommodation of the officials, take care of travel and accommodation of the players and their supporting staff. TV production cost is also paid by the FIFA from its own pocket. These are all expenses of FIFA in the World Cup. Now obviously when you're spending this much amount of money, then you obviously want good amount of returns, right? So let us understand what are the streams of revenue of FIFA. Now initially I thought that majority of the revenue might be coming from sponsors, but it turns out that majority of the revenue is actually coming from television rights. And if you just do more research, this particular stat actually look quite obvious, because it is expected that this FIFA World Cup will get 5 billion plus viewership. So FIFA can easily sell the television right to the sport broadcasting team at a hefty price. In India, Viacom 18, which is the Reliance Industries company, has got the television rights for whooping rupees 450 crores. So if you want to watch the FIFA World Cup in India, it will be shown on Sports 18, and if you want to watch it digitally, it will be shown on Jio Cinema. Viacom 18 is expected to generate a revenue of 300 crore. But the question is how they actually generate the revenue. And it turns out it is quite simple. Advertisements of sponsors. So in between the match, there is some ad slot which is given to this TV broadcaster. In this ad slot, they can actually show the brand's advertisements, and this is the way they actually earns the money. And the rate for these particular advertisements are actually decided per second. Now let us move to the next stream of revenue, and that is marketing rights. FIFA get 29% of their revenue from marketing rights, and actually sponsors and partners of FIFA plays a very important role, because sports is an art, and to support the art, commerce is very much required, and these partners and the sponsors bring those commerce to actually support this great art of sport. FIFA has different segments in marketing rights, but let us classify into 2 types. One is the FIFA partners and the second are just sponsors. FIFA partners are basically the brands which are given full marketing and creative liberty in whichever way they want to use the FIFA logo. This year, FIFA partners are Hyundai, Qatar Airways, Qatar Energy, Adidas and Coca-Cola. At the same time, some of the sponsors include Byju's, and this is the first time that any Indian company is actually going to sponsor the World Cup. At the same time, there is McDonald's, there is Roblox, and many of the other sponsors, as you can see in front of your screen. Now the thing is that sponsors obviously get a hefty amount of money. They actually get the benefit because their humongous amount of branding is done. It's a marketing stunt. But this is just one benefit. The another benefit is that whatever revenue the sponsors and partners of FIFA actually generate, all this revenue is completely tax-free, because the hosting nation need to create the tax-free zone for FIFA, for the FIFA partners and for the FIFA sponsors. The third stream of revenue is licensing right. Now let me explain what licensing right is. So you might have played a lot of esports game, lot of mobile sports game which are related to football. In these games you might have seen the FIFA logo. Now after this World Cup is done, you might see the different session where the Qatar FIFA World Cup 2022 session will be there, and if you click on it, you can play the Qatar FIFA World Cup 2022 on your mobile, right? Now these companies are using the FIFA logo, and to use the FIFA logo, these companies need to give certain amount of money to FIFA. This is another way by which FIFA generate the money, that is licensing rights. The fourth stream of revenue is ticket and accommodation. So if you just go on the FIFA website for ticket booking, you will actually find out there is a dream package. So you can create your own dream package for this particular World Cup. You'll get different access, you'll get different launch access and all this stuff. In short, the more the money you pay, more the comfort you will get on the ground. FIFA actually generate 11% of their revenue from ticket and accommodation, and they do not share a single percent of revenue with anyone. 100% of ticket and accommodation revenue goes into the pocket of FIFA. These are all the streams of revenue of FIFA. This year, FIFA is expected to generate $6 billion from this particular World Cup. If you just look at it, in 2018, they actually generated $4.6 billion. Now let us understand what are the benefits for the nations which are playing this particular World Cup. First of all, it's a matter of pride. 190 plus nation, the famous sport in the world, and you are among the 32 nations which are going to play this particular sport. It's a matter of pride. If your country do well, it attracts a humongous amount of crowd. Many of the people talk about your country. Like in 2018, France won the World Cup, but Croatia actually won the hearts of people. It improves the soft power of your country. That is very much important. If you just look at the commercial benefits, it gives the sponsors. Lot of sponsors this team actually gets. In fact, the kits of these teams are actually sponsored. Just look at it. Nike sponsored the maximum kits in 2022 FIFA World Cup. So all the kits are sponsored. At the same time, they are regional sponsors. Like for example, Amul is the regional sponsor of Portugal and Argentina. It's one of the proud moment for India because Amul is going to be the regional sponsor for Portugal and Argentina, the two most famous team in India. So these regional sponsors actually give the money to this team, and there's a lot of different other types of sponsors which actually give the money to this particular team, like merchandise sponsor, title sponsor, at the same time jersey sponsors, and a lot of other kind of sponsors. At the same time, if your country do well, it actually enhances the sports economy of your country, and it helps your sports economy to do better in the future. Now let us understand what are the benefits for the hosting nation, because this hosting nation actually need to spend a humongous amount of money. Like for example, in 2014, Brazil spent almost $11 billion, Russia $15 billion, and Qatar $220 billion. They have spent $220 billion for the smooth conduct of this whole World Cup, for on the infrastructure of this particular World Cup. The hosting nation need to take care of everything from the venue to security to proper infrastructure. Hosting nation need to have a good amount of airports, good amount of metros, good amount of road infrastructure. At the same time, they also need to take care of hotel and accommodation. They need to take care of good amount of stadiums available, proper stadium facilities, everything they need to take care of. For all this, you need to pay a humongous amount of money. Now, when you're paying this much amount of money, you definitely want some benefits, right? So let us understand what are the benefits. First benefit is the soft power. In case of Qatar, soft power is very much important. First of all, it's the Middle Eastern country, and Middle Eastern countries are kind of thought like a bit of unsafe nation or a bit of less secure nations, right? At the same time, they are constitutional, like the dictator or constitutional monarchy. That is something world against do not like. So the image of the Middle Eastern countries are not that good in the whole world. So it improves the soft power of your nation. That's the one benefit. The second benefit is the attention. If you just look at it, in the last 3 to 4 months, the amount of time people might have taken the name of Qatar, the amount of videos been made on Qatar, the amount of articles been written on Qatar. People might have not talked about the Qatar in the last 10 years, the amount of time they have talked about the Qatar in just last 3 to 4 months. So that's a humongous amount of attention. Attention actually benefit a lot of other industries. For example, tourism industry. After the FIFA World Cup, Qatar is expected to generate a revenue of $3.4 billion from the tourism sector. and it is expected that the revenue will go to $7.4 billion from the tourism by the year 2030. The third benefit is the infrastructure. If you just look at it, 100 plus new hotels has been built, 7 new stadiums has been built, and lot of metros, lot of airports has been built. All this has boosted the infrastructure of Qatar. That's another great benefit. The fourth is investors. When you're able to host such a humongous tournament, it actually shows the stability of your country, and that brings a lot of investors in your country. And that's again great for the GDP and the future of your country. Another benefit is also that your team automatically gets qualified. If you're hosting a World Cup, the hosting nation automatically gets qualified to play the World Cup. Now these are some of the benefits of hosting the World Cup. One of the major cons is that commerce wise it do not look that great of a deal, because if you just look at it, Russia, which actually hosted the FIFA World Cup 2022, they generated $13 or 14 billion from this particular World Cup, as compared to 15 billion being invested. So it's a humongous amount of investment, and they are not able to get good amount of return. Obviously in a long term you might get good amount of return, but again it depends on country to country. Like for example, country like South Africa got a good amount of tourism after they hosted 2010 FIFA World Cup, but country like Russia might have not got that much amount of tourism. So again it depends on country to country. At the same time, infrastructure might not be used later. For example, Brazil actually built a state-of-art stadium for FIFA World Cup 2014, but turns out after the FIFA World Cup 2014, they are not able to find a tenant for that particular ground. No match was held in that particular ground, as a result of which that ground is used as a bus depot. The ground takes a humongous amount of maintenance cost, and if you are not able to find the tenant for that particular ground, then that maintenance cost is not that much worthy. Now in case of Qatar, I don't know. First of all, 220 billion do not seem any way wise to invest for this. It's just like Qatar has a humongous amount of money and they were confused where to invest, so they invested this much amount of money into this particular World Cup. We talked about the business side of the FIFA World Cup 2022. Now let us understand some of the evil things which has been done in this particular World Cup. FIFA has certain requirements before they choose any country as a host nations. Like for example, number of grounds in that particular country, security of that particular country, the number of hotels and accommodations in that particular country, the infrastructure, the climate, and government support, and tons of other things FIFA consider before they choose any nation as a hosting nation. It turns out FIFA was not qualifying in majority of the criteria, but still Qatar was declared as a host nation for FIFA World Cup 2022 in 2010. The reason is simple. It's corruption and bribing. That's the two words because of which Qatar is actually given the opportunity. Qatar has actually spent $880 million and tons of high-level meetings, which has actually given them this particular opportunity to host this particular World Cup. It's like money can buy anything and everything, and Qatar has proven this particular point now. At the same time, lot of human rights violation has taken place in this particular World Cup. Workers who were working for the construction of this whole infrastructure were abused. They were working in a hot weather. At the same time, their passports were confiscated, and they were not even actually allowed to leave the country or even leave their job till the employer wants them to leave the job or leave the country. And at the same time, they're given this kind of rooms. Just look at it. It's terrible. So a lot of human rights violation been done. 6,000 people actually died. At the same time, the Qatar football team is also going to play in this particular World Cup, because the thing is that host nation automatically gets qualified for playing in the World Cup. Have you ever heard of Qatar football team? There are just 28 lakh people living in that particular country, of which 80% of the people are from other country and just 20% are having the Qatari citizenship. It turns out a lot of players are from different countries and they have been given the Qatari citizenship, and now they are going to play for Qatar. It's like they are working on a club model for building their national team. Another great example of money can buy anything and everything. And this is not just in football, in fact it is happening in cricket as well. In year 2024, T20 World Cup is going to be hosted by West Indies and USA, and West Indies cricket team and USA cricket team automatically gets qualified. Now West Indies is one of the country which actually deserve to automatically get qualified. They have the history of cricket, but USA, seriously, like USA, if we just go and ask the US people what cricket is, they will actually say it's an insect. They even do not know what cricket is. They do not have any popularity. They are not known to the cricket, but it just USA want to make this sport popular, and to actually get into that particular sport, they're going to host the sport. That's it. And their team automatically gets qualified. It means one nation, which might be deserving nation to play that particular World Cup, do not get qualified. All thanks to money. Money can buy anything and everything. And I do not have a problem with money. Money is very much important for the art of sports. But if the commerce is going to kill the art of sports, then we really need to draw the line somewhere. Well, this was it from this particular video. Let us enjoy the FIFA World Cup 2022. I'm a big fan of Ronaldo and really want Portugal to win this particular World Cup. Which team you are supporting? Comment down below. Thank you very much for watching this particular video. Meet you in the next one. Till then, bye bye.